I don't think by any means that this means that everybody should stop their psychiatric drugs and psychiatric drugs don't help people and all of that. And I'm by no means saying that. Like, what I am wanting to share this for after all this time is that please be really careful. Like, please be really careful coming off them. You can even message me, because I'm an encyclopedia now of how to taper. I do a water taper. I crush my pills up now. It's a pain in the ass, but it's better than worsening my situation at the moment. Please be really careful about polydrugging. Adding more than one drug in. We just don't know what we are doing to our bodies. And when we think about in the whole scope of human history, how unbelievably short a period of time we have been doing this to our bodies, it is very, very small. And unfortunately, I think, and I've had a lot of time to reflect on this, before we had medicine, we had religion, and that was the thing that couldn't be questioned. Now we have science and medicine that can't be questioned. And I think that's really, really dangerous, because we don't know everything. We don't know everything now, and we never will. I mean, it's unfathomable what these drugs have done to my body and the bodies of many people that I've met over the last 2 years through this journey. And we just don't know as much as we think we do. Like, the brain and the body are so unfathomably complex that, what we're using are still blunt instruments. The fact that in psychiatry, we don't know how these drugs work. And if you ask a doctor to explain the mechanism of action to a drug to you and they can't, that's a cause for concern. But even if they can, that explanation is most likely highly simplistic, because the body and the brain are so complicated that there is no amount of training in something like psychiatry, which is an imprecise science, that can really tell us the full extent of what they're doing. And I wish every single day that I could go back in time, because let me tell you that there is no anxiety, no panic attack, no depression, nothing that that even begins to touch what I go through every single day, constantly, second by second, with the akathisia that I still experience in my body, is horrific internal agitation that's just unbearable, that I have now lived with for 2 years, and this absolutely debilitating vestibular condition that I have also lived with. And if I can prevent anyone from going through this level of suffering, I mean, there is nothing in my life, no breakup, no assault, no illness, no mental health condition that touches what has happened to me in the last 2 years and what is continuing. And the feeling of hopelessness that this has gone on for this extent of time, with no prognosis, no medical support, no idea if this will ever go away, is very, very, very hard to bear on a daily basis. I feel like I'm in a complete other universe to the rest of the human race with what has happened. And I wish that any of this was an exaggeration. Like, I wish that this was anxiety. I wish that this was psychosis. I wish I was deluded. I wish I was wrong. I wish that this was not true. There are just no words to really adequately describe the just relentless severity and acuity of this, acuteness, that this has remained at such an acute level now for over 700 days. I do have fluctuations in symptoms, but it's debilitating. And other than people like, Dr. David Healy, Dr. Mark Horowitz, Dr. Joanna Moncrief, Dr. Stuart Shipko, there's just not a lot of knowledge about this, which is just crazy. And every day I wake up and I'm like, how am I living in 2025? And I have a medical condition that's causing me this much daily suffering and disability, and there's no help. There's no help. I try to help. I've done many things. I've done kinesiology, I've done acupuncture, I've cleared all the additives out of my diet, no dairy, no gluten, no alcohol, certainly nothing artificial. I just wanted to share this because this is my reality now, and I miss my life. I miss everyone. I miss being a part of my own family, watching all my siblings have babies, knowing that that's something now that I really am highly unlikely to ever experience myself. I miss working. I'd love to be working in my office with my other colleagues instead of working from home, but I can't. I don't have a social life. The highlights of my week are when I'm able to go out for walks or maybe go to the gym if I'm not suffering too much. This is just so much worse than I can describe. And certainly I've had anxiety and maybe some depression, and that might have, sometimes given me a bit of a negative outlook on life from time to time. I also think I was someone that really loved life. I loved nature. I loved hiking, running, paddleboarding, kayaking, traveling, connecting with friends. I loved being in the world. I loved experiencing new things. I loved meeting new people. I loved having crazy experiences. I mean, I didn't let my anxiety stop me from living, and I have a lot of memories of what my life was like before this happened, and I don't know if it will ever be like that again now. So I just thought it was time to share this on this 2-year anniversary of getting rapid tapered and drug injured. Please take care of yourselves.